Hey guys, welcome to this lecture. In this lecture we are going to talking about the polymorphisms in PHP. The word poly, which is derived from Greek, and morphism is also a word of the Greek as well. The poly mean two and the morphisms here means that this is forms. The things which have many forms is called polymorphism. In object-oriented programming, polymorphisms, which refers to a programming languages and ability to process the objects differently depending on their data types or classes. Specifically, it is the ability to redefine the methods of the derived classes. Okay, the polymorphism is the ability of an object to take many forms. The most common use of polymorphism in the object-oriented programming language, which occurs when a parent class reference is used to refer the child class object. Like, we have a class which is account. So I am taking the example of the bank account right here. Okay, this bank account have two more types, which is, you may say that is deposit, and another one here is withdraw. Okay, you can see here it has two more forms right here. Okay, now here you can see that this withdraw I'm just creating some of the more forms of this withdraw, which is saving. Then you have to write your checking, then you have to write your current account. Okay, and then you have to write like privileges of your account. So you can see here that accounts which have two types and then withdraw have four types right here. So this is just an example that are things which have the many forms. So this is called the polymorphism right here. Okay, or here I am just showing you another thing. Let's suppose we have the shape right here, and if you want to draw your shape, okay, then here you can see that we have the different types of shape, like here which is triangle, then rectangle, then here we have circle. Okay, you can see here, and we will get this draw method right here. You can see here. So we have the only one shape which have the many forms, which are rectangle, triangle, and circle. Hope so you understand now that what is the polymorphism and what are the forms of that. According to the polymorphisms principles, the method in the different classes that do similar thing should have the same name. As I just tell you about the example, that a prime example of the classes that represent the geometric shapes, such as the rectangle, circles, and octagons, that are different from each other in the numbers of ribs and in the formula that's calculate their areas, but they are all have the common in areas, and that can be calculated by method. The polymorphism principle says that in this case all the methods that calculate the area, and it doesn't matter of what shapes or the class, would have the same name. Let's just demonstrate one of the examples of the polymorphism, and I will show you about that how this polymorphisms work in a PHP programming language. Here you will see that I'm just creating a class, and the class here is the parent class. Okay, this is my parent class here, what I'm just creating right here to you guys. You can see here this is a parent class. Now here I'm just creating a function. So you can see here this is a function, and the function name here is, like here you can see that I just write function name is poly. Poly is just like I am just representing the polymorphism to you guys for your better understanding that how this polymorphisms work in the different classes with the same function name. You can see here I have to write one of the echo statement, and the echo statement here is I have to write base or parent method poly called. Okay, now here you can see that I just call the parent method right here, which is the poly. Now you can see that after that here I'm just creating the class, and the class here is I have to write child that will extend our parent class. Okay, now here you can see I have to write public. The public function here is poly. So I am just using this function here as well, which means that I am using the same function name, but they have different types. Hope so you understand now that how we can create it. So here you can see that I have to write this as parent one just because of this is already reserved, and here we have, yes, okay, it's fine now. Now you can see that after this here I have to write that this is echo, and echo here is I just write that is child class called poly method. Okay, after that I just close this code right here. Now here you can see that after that I have to create one other function, and the function here is, you may say that is a function of parent function, okay, which is getting the parent class right here, where I have to write this as a parent number one, and then here I am just creating the variable which is p right here. Okay, now here you can see that this is a variable p, or this is a parameter to the function which is the variable p right here, and then here I have to write that this is the method, or here I have to write that this is the poly method right here. So I just call my poly method right here. After creating this I have to write, after creating the poly method I have to go to create, let's suppose this is the p here is my variable, and which is equal to, here I have to write new. So here I'm just creating the object of this child number one class. Okay, and then after that here I am just writing that this is parent, and the parent here is the function, and I'm just calling the variable p right here. Okay, now here you can see that. Now I'm just running firstly this example to you guys, and you can see here the child class called the poly method. Now here you will see, firstly I have to create this parent class, then after that here you can see that this is the public function which is the poly function. So I am just reuse this poly functions many times with different forms. Okay, first form here is the echo base or the parent method poly called. Okay, now here you can see that I just write class child number one which is extending the parent one class. Okay, now here I am just using the same poly function right here. Okay, now echo and the print child class poly method. So the method here is same, but the forms here are different, you can see that. And then here I am just simply call, and this is the old process of the calling and creating the object. So polymorphisms which represent more than one forms, and it's achieved using method overloading and method overriding. This is an object oriented programming concept where some functions can be used for a different purposes. Here I'm just demonstrating to you guys one of the best example of the polymorphism where I'm just using interfaces as well. Okay, the ability to process the object differently, an integral part of the polymorphisms is common interface. Polymorphisms is a design pattern, okay, in which the classes have the different functionality while sharing the common interface, and you can define an interface in the PHP using interface or the abstract class. Okay, the question here is, what is the interface? An interface which allow the user to create the program is specifically the public method that a class must implement without involving the complexities and details of how the particular methods are implemented. In general refers to as the next level of abstraction is called the interface. Here you can see that I have to write interface, and interface here is shape. So I just tell you about that our last diagram, but you remember that a shape have many form where we have rectangle, then we have circle, and then we have like a triangle as well. Here you can see that I am creating a shape right here, which is my interface, and now here you will see that. Now here I have to write that this is the public, and the public here is the function, and the function here is the area. Okay, now here you can see that. So I just add one of the method to this shape, which is the area right here. Now you can see here I'm just creating the class, and the class here is, you may say that this is a circle number 1, and that will implements, and this is implements the shape, and the shape here is interface. So here we create a class that's implement the shape interface by putting the area. Okay, now just see how. Now here I'm just write that is the private, and the private here is a keyword to setting up my variable private. Now here I will write that this is the radius right here, and then after that here I'm just writing this is the public, and the public here is a function, and here I'm just using the constructor. Okay, and here you can see that that is a construct, and here I'm just passing the value of radius right here. Now after that here you can see that I have to write that this and this here is radius, and the radius which is equal to, here I have to write that this is radius. Okay, and just close this code right here. Now here you will see I have to write public function area. Okay, then after that here you can see that I have to write that this is return, and the return here is this keyword, and then that is returning the radius right here, which is static of this keyword, and that will get the radius, and the radius here is multiplied by value of pi. Hope so you understand now that how you can get the radius. So this is just a formula of the radius, what I am just getting right here. Now after that here you can see that I just implement one of the another class. So class which is rectangle, and that will implements shape class, which is a shape interface right here, remember that. And the shape interface here is area, and I'm just getting this area as well with a difference attribute. Hope so you understand now. Now here you can see that I have to write private here is width, then here you can see that I have to write the private again, and the private here is height. Okay, now here you can see that I have to use public, and the public here is the function, and the function underscore construct. So here you can see that that is a constructor overloading, because I am just using two constructor here. You can see that width, and here I have to write this is the height right here. Now here you can see that I have to write this which is the width, and the width which is equal to, here I have to write that this is the width right here, and here this is a slash sign. Now here you can see that that is the height, and here I have to write that this is also a height right here, close with semicolon. Now you can see that after overloading this constructor right here, I have to go to write public here is the function, and the function here is the area. You can see here I'm just using the same function again, one time, two time, and this is the implementations of the same function which is in interface. Hope so you understand now. Now here you can see that that is a return, and here I have to write this, and this here is the width which is equal to, or sorry, width multiplied by, here I have to write this height. Okay, you can see here why this is the formula of getting the rectangle right here. Now here you will see that after that I have to create the object rectangle right here, which is equal to new rectangle. Okay, and this is rect, which is equal to the new rect. Now here provide the value 4 and 4, and then close this code right here. Now here I have to write echo, and here I have to write that that is like obj rect. Okay, where that will get the area method right here, or area function right here. Hope so you understand now that how we can get it right here. Now after that, here you can see that I'm just creating the circle here. So here you can see that obj circle is equal to new, and here I have to write that this is circle number 1. Okay, now here you can see that if you want to provide the values of the circle, so simply I am just writing the circle of 8. Okay, and here you can see that I have to write echo, then here I have to write that obj and obj circle here, and here I have to write that will get the area function right here. Okay, now the main concept is here. Firstly, you can see that this is actually, you can focus on only on this public function area, just because of here this will be the polymorphism, just because of we are declaring one function which is the name of area, and we are reuse them the many time with the different with the different forms right here. Hope so you understand now that things which have the many forms and different in, you can say that different data types and different values, so this is called the polymorphism. Now here I'm just running this code, and here you can see that, wait for that, and here I have to write that this is echo, and echo here is the beer tag. Okay, and now here I have to write echo, and echo here is beer tag, and close this code right here. Now semicolon and the semicolon right here. Now just run this code. Firstly, you can see here this is the value of the rectangle, and this is the value here of the circle right here. Hope so you understand now that how polymorphisms work in a PHP programming language. If you find any of the problem regarding to this lecture, please let me know, and thanks for watching this lecture.